Excuse me, I got a question.
Somebody give me Romans 13 and 11.
I have a question.
It's a Ronald car, man. Give me Romans 13 and 11.
Khan, this is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Brother, you need a water? Thank you.
Get down here to class, 1232 North King Street, Wilmington, Delaware.
Shalom, Lord Christ, to my brothers and sisters, man. Y'all need to come down to 1232 North King Street, where the truth resides, man. ISUPK Delaware. We definitely representing doing some big things.
202 North DuPont Boulevard
That's
in
right.
Smyrna, Delaware.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Come and be a part of this rising thing that we got going on here in Delaware.
I hear everybody claiming that they love the Lord and love God and all that. Well, get in here and show it. You know what I mean? The scriptures say faith without works is dead. So if you ain't doing nothing, your faith is dead. So get up and do something. What you need to do is get your ass up and get in the class. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't doing nothing else. You're sitting home wasting time. Wasting time. Everything is going on around you, and you don't know how to compartmentalize these things. You understand? I'm on my way to class right now, like you should be. You know what I'm saying? Class don't stop for nothing.
Yeah, man, y'all, shit was dope, man. Yo, Zara, you really about to go to New York, bro?
Yo, man, we out.
Man, you ain't going no damn New York, bro. You don't be going nowhere like that.
Yo, man.
See, I've been places, you know what I'm saying? I travel. I go, you know what I'm saying? Yo, where my shoes, bro?
I mean, niggas don't really be going nowhere, but I do. I know I do.
Where you been at? Where you been at, man?
Shit, I be out Puerto Rico, I be out Cuba.
I've been in the
This nigga ain't been no motherfucking Cuba, man.
Where's your Cuban cigar at,
Niggas go to Baltimore act like they been somewhere.
I've been places too. I've been to places too.
I don't know what you gonna need.
Man, what's your Cap? I know Captain. He's an international. Where you got? He's been all over the place, Captain.
Trinidad, Canada.
Damn, I've been around, man. Damn, you been out there with drinking and shit?
Damn, that's better than wild.
What about you, Yashima? What's up?
No, I'm from Jamaica, but I've been Canada, Florida, New York.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Philly.
Shit. What about you, Cat?
Well, I'll tell you where y'all niggas ain't been.
Yo, Cat, where you been though, man?
Man, I've been where y'all niggas ain't been. I've been to the Passover.
What?
Yeah, y'all never been there? You ain't never been to the Passover?
Cat, that was a hurt piece.
Y'all ain't never been to the Passover? Y'all ain't never been to the Passover?
What the fuck?
You ain't never been to the Passover? Huh? You ever been to the Passover? My bad. But y'all ain't never been to the Passover?
Unfortunately not.
You got the lamb slaughter. You got General Muhammad's class. We got the children's party. They got stuff for the kids to do. We got babysitters. They need babysitters.
I love the kids.
I ain't playing with them kids.
And we're gonna have the black party.
Shit.
And guess what?
What's that?
If you pay your Passover fees up front, you can get in the black party for free.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm
say
talking
black party?
It's gonna be performances there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be open bar with the beer and the wine all night. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be in the building, you know what I mean?
Black party?
Does that sound like
Shit.
Keep going.
You already know what it is. We do it bigger and better every year. This year, the 54th annual Passover.
And before the Passover, we got the biggest party of the year. It's the annual Black Party, March 30th. That's on a Thursday at the Durham Armory. Make sure y'all in the building.
And the moment y'all all been waiting for, the 54th annual ISUBK Passover, April 1st. April 1st, we doing it big. Once again, serving the Most High. Rally,
And you can get all of that at this year's Passover.
You gotta hit up.
Oh, no, I say strong. Yeah.
Yo, also like we live.
He about to get with the bun and cheese.
He's about to, right?
He's about to get the bun and cheese. That arroz con pollo.
Hey.
Oh, we live.
We
God
live.
damn.
Oh, we too live.
All right. Salaki, this ISUBK Delaware.
Can't
Sabbath service. Last week we left off Exodus chapter 29, verse. Exodus 29 and what?
We was actually 31.
Exodus 31.
Yeah, we finished off 31. We going into
Exodus 32.
We're going into 32.
All right, set. Once again, we have to blow the trumpet. We're about to get the Sabbath service started. Once again, it's not a class. It's a high holy day. This is just
high holy day tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a holy. Yeah. Also tomorrow we got the high holy day, the Feast of Purim, down in Smyrna, Delaware.
Yeah, you don't have to use that, buddy.
All right. The mouthpiece.
The piece is on the table. It's right there.
Oh shoot! All right, here you go, Ken. You lucked out, man. Lord was with you. I should go. I'll come up and hold it. Hold the Torah.
Yeah.
All right, he been blowing the shofar for a couple. You know what I mean? So he forgot how to blow that or something. All right.
Hitting him with the 7-Eleven. So.
Yeah, about some
So.
Laya
Sha'ala, which means to Israel. So.
Wine tasting mighty good today. Is that something new in there?
It's just Saturday. The Lord is in that flask.
That really is.
You know what I mean? What's that crazy? Right. Turn red.
Yeah, he did.
Hey, Quahal. Come on up. State your name and registry.
Trooper Kahal.
Mm-hmm. Bun.
Yahawda.
Bun. Yasha'Allah. So what you saying? Where you from? Who your fathers are? You son of Israel. I'm slugging. The son of Judah, son of Israel. All right, that's your tribe and your nation. All right, assuming you're a Judite, right? All right, so Bun Yahawada, Bun Yasha'Allah.
Bun Yahawda, Bun Yasha'Allah.
Quahal, Bun Yahawada, Bun Yasha'Allah. Now Barak. No Barak. Yahawah Shem Yasha'Allah.
Yahawah Shem Yasha'Allah.
Yahawah Shem Yasha'Allah.
Right. You get a shot too. You get a shot too, don't you?
Kind, sir. So, damn. He do have to blow though.
Oh, you gotta blow the trumpet for him. Welcome.
He's supposed to do it before we called him out, but it's too loud.
He did blow before he came up.
Kind. Here
you go.
Sir. Come on, Cam. Get on it. Hold on. Salakia, 1 second, sir.
What?
Hit it.
Yahawah Shem Yasha'Allah.
So?
Yasha'Allah.
So, like it. So, right.
Okay.
From schools. All right. So, my gym, which means to stand. Well, Pun Yahawah, which means turn to face the east, which is that way. We're going to send up the Lord's prayers, or the prayers.
All right, this is the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayah.
Quadah.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Yahawah.
Malak with
Taba'ah.
Ratazarka.
Hayah.
Aisha. Ba'aratazar.
Kawah.
Hayah. Bashamayah.
Telanaw.
Lakam. Cow. Yawam.
Wasalaklanau.
Kabawafnau. Kasalaknau.
Kabawafnau. Wala'ah.
Kabiya'anau. Banasaya 1. Abal. Hawashaynau. Mayan. Right. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Wa'ala. Awalumyum.
Aman in English. Our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
All right, this is prayer for the power. Yahawah Shem Yahawah. Baba Kashah. Thunnanaw. Haka. Larapa'ah. Kal Makala. Kal Madawa. Haka. Latahar. Hamatazariah. Haka. Lahakwi. Hamafi. Haka. Arakawa. Atama Allah. Lagarashun. Ba Shem Yahawah. The water Aman.
In the English. Yahawah. In the name of Yahawah. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahawah. Thank you.
So be it. All right, this is a prayer to bless Israel. Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua.
Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Why Sha'ala.
Why Sha'ala.
Why Abayah.
Why Abayah.
Saparia.
Saparia.
By Hashem Yahushua.
By Hashem Yahushua.
Wada Aman.
Wada Aman. In English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The name Yahushua.
The name Yahushua.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
In the school.
In the school.
In the name Yahushua.
In the name Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is Psalms 121. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahari.
Ahari.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Aizari.
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 Ma'aim.
Ma'aim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
Ayathan.
Wayathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Ragal.
Ragal.
Al Yanawam.
Al Yanawam.
Shamar.
Shamar.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamar.
Shamar.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazal.
Tazal.
Ayat.
Ayat.
Yam
Yam Yank.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
Wa'ayakak.
Wa'ayakak.
Wa'yarak.
Wa'yarak.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Makal Rai.
Makal Ra.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Afna Pasha.
Afna Pasha.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza Afka.
Taza Afka.
Wabba Wa'afka.
Wabba Wa'afka.
Ma'aita.
Ma'aita.
Wa'ait. Awalum.
Awalum. In the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From which cometh my help.
From which cometh my help.
My help cometh from the Lord.
My help comes from the Lord.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel.
Shall neither slumber.
Shall neither slumber.
Nor sleep.
Nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
From all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy going out.
He shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore. All right. This is Psalms 83. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al Damayalaka.
Al Damayalaka.
Al Takarash.
Al Takarash.
Al Tashakwat.
Al Tashakwat.
Al Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awayabi.
Awayabi.
Yahama Yawan.
Yahama Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka. Ira
Ira Yum.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Wayata.
Wayata.
Aitazawa.
Now Aitazawa.
Al Tazapawanya.
Al Tazapawanya.
Amar.
Amar.
Nakawa.
Nakawa.
Wanakaki.
Wanakaki.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yasakar.
Yasakar.
Sham Yasha'al.
Sham Yasha'al.
Awada.
Awada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa Aitazawa.
Now Aitazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadwa.
Nakadwa.
Ayaka.
Ayaka.
Baryath.
Baryath.
Yakarath.
Yakarathu.
Ahoya.
Ahoya.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wayashimi Aya.
Wayashimi Aya.
Mawa Abba.
Mawa Abba.
Wahagari.
Wahagari.
Gabal.
Gabal.
I'm a one.
I'm a one.
I'm a lock.
I'm a lot.
Palasha.
Palasha.
I'm Yashabi.
I'm Yashabi.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Damashawar.
Damashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
I'm Mum.
Mum.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zerawai.
Zerawai.
Banyalawat.
Banyalawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aishalaham.
Aishalaham.
Kamadyan.
Kamadyan.
Kasayasara.
Kasayasara.
Kayabyan.
Kayabyan.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Kayashwa.
Kayashwa.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Ba'ayanda Ara.
Ba'ayanda Ara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'adma.
La'adma.
Sayatamwa.
Sayatamwa.
Nadayamawa.
Nadayabawa.
Ka'arab.
Ka'arab.
Wakazaba.
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 Wakatazalmanai.
Wakatazalmanai.
Kal Nasiyakamwa.
Kal Nasiyakamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Nayirashah.
Nayirashah.
Nanawa.
Nanawa.
Af. Na'awa.
Na'awa.
Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Sayatamwa.
Sayatamwa.
Kagagala.
Kagagala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapayaraka.
Lapanyaraka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Taba Ira Ira.
Taba Ira Ira.
Kalaba.
Kalaba.
Dalahat.
Dalahat.
Arayam.
Arayam.
Khan.
Khan.
Dabadat.
Daradat.
Basa Ira.
Basa Ira.
Wabasawa Paf.
Wabasawa Paf.
Taba Halam.
Taba Halam.
Mala'ah.
Mala'ah.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Kwalawan.
Kwalawan.
Wayabakwaswa.
Wayabakwaswa.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabahawa.
Wayabahawa.
Ayai.
Ayai.
Wayakapara.
Wayakapara.
Abadwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayadaiwa.
Wayadaiwa.
Kaya'ata.
Kaya'ata.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Labaka.
Labaka.
Alayawan.
Balayawan.
Al.
Al.
Kal.
Kal.
Ratazah.
All right, the Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy
And
peace.
be not still.
Be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo, thine enemies.
Thine enemies.
Make a tumult.
Make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
Have lifted up their head.
Have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel.
Against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
They have said.
Come.
Come.
And let us cut them off.
Let us cut them
From
off.
being a nation.
From being a nation.
That the name of Israel.
That the name name of Israel.
That the 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 name of Israel.
Maybe no more remembrance.
Maybe no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together.
With one consent.
With one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee.
are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
Ishmaelites.
Ishmaelites.
Moab.
Hagarenes.
Gabal. Ammon. Amalek. The Philistines. The inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also was joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah. Doing to them. As unto the Midianites.
As to the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kison.
At the brook of Kison.
Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red.
And like Zahab.
And like Zahab.
Yea. All their princes. As Zabah.
And
as Zalmunna. Who said. Let us take to ourselves. The houses of Yahweh. In possession. Oh my power. Make them like a wheel. As a stubble before the wind.
As a
fire burning for wood.
And
as a flame set up the mountains on fire. So persecute them. With thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. Oh Yahweh. Let them be confounded. In trouble.
Forever.
Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou. Whose name alone. Is Yahweh. Are the most high. Of all the earth. Sar, which means to turn. And Yeshabel, which means to be seated.
Set it down.
Yeah, you can set that down. Zipper up. Yeah. That way when you grab it, you just right on.
I don't want some.
Let me grab that chair over there. Yeah, you want this chair, man? I got chill with that.
Yeah, that's my favorite right there.
Yeah, this gives the cushions. Yeah. I like these joints too. I prefer this over that joint.
All right. So let's get it. Exodus chapter 32.
Chapter 32.
Man, them prayers are absolutely atomic. Because like I said, once again, once you read them in the Hebrew, like you see the word Salah and things of that nature, and you see Salakia.
Right.
Root word is Salakia. It help you learn, it help you interpret the Bible better.
Right.
And it gives you strength.
Kind of
I mean? So
like if I may, sir, like somebody was like, when people read the scripture and they say Salah, it cracks me up. Like, you ain't supposed to say that. Like, what you mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, why would it be there if you ain't supposed to say it? And to be totally honest, when you read that, and I was looking at, because I understand that's the root word too. When I read that, look where it's paused at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look where it's like
right.
like saying, damn.
Like okay, Yah means me or he. Right. So Salakia, the brother name is Yah Shammai. What does your name mean? He hears or I hear.
Right.
Yah Shammai. I hear. Right. So Salakia means excuse.
Right.
Me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Kind.
That's how Hebrew works. That's how anything works. Like solo means by yourself, but solamente is like only.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Kind.
Like when you put the suffix on the suffix, right? Yeah, the suffix on the word, it changes the dynamics of the word.
Damn right.
In any language.
Right. Kind. So like when you read that prayer, if I can see that the joint real quick. So when you read this prayer, you know what I mean, where they have Salat, Salah is mentioned right after all of the nations that's against Israel is listed.
Right. Let me see that.
It's like saying, think about it. You know what I mean? Like pause. I'm gonna stop you right there, and it's like, damn. Like these are the people that's against Israel. You see what I'm saying?
And obviously they couldn't translate the word.
Right. Yeah, because in the English it says Salah.
So I got a question.
What's up, bud?
You were talking about that at home.
Yeah.
About the Salah.
Right. Kind. You know what I mean? And that's because we was reading it, and he was like, what's Salah mean? And I was like, all right, let's break it down. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, like, it's put there for a purpose. You know what I mean? It's put there for a purpose to pause for a second. You know what I mean? Within that prayer. Yo, if I may, I heard. All right, so we know that Chief Priest Ariah had passed. You know what I mean? And they had played a video or like a little excerpt joint, and it had they were singing the prayer. That was dope. I had never heard that before.
What?
It was singing the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah, because it's a song.
Yeah.
It's in Psalms.
It's in Psalms, right?
Yeah, it's a song.
But I never remember we was talking about that maybe like I want to say like 2 weeks ago. Like it has a flow to it and it has a good. But when I actually heard it, how they
we say it close to a song,
right?
You mean like we say it with a rhythm,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn it. You gotta learn the Hebrew first,
yeah,
and then you can learn the song,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So once like we had the flow to it,
right?
I mean, we guys gotta learn the song.
Who you know who did that?
Who? No, I don't know
who did that song.
I never even seen that joint.
That joint I was like, yo, that's fire, man. They had it harmonized and everything. But if I could, grab that right over there, that picture right there.
Kind of like,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because we ain't like some of these other groups that's going to sit there and talk about, you know what I mean, the brother and stuff and be all negative. You know what I'm saying? You know, we understand again, you know. And General brought this out. It was so heavy. You know what I'm saying? This the brother right here. You know what I'm saying? It's the brother right here in the red right here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? We understand like what that brother brought to the school, what he contributed to the school. And I thought it was so heavy that, you know, the general told him like, you know, don't drop your sword. You know what I mean? How he told him not to that, and it continues on. So even though, you know what I mean, he may have, the fact of the matter is what he contributed to the school. You know what I mean? We definitely recognize.
In 2014 or 2015, Head Priest Yeshaya came to the New York Cookout.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
We met him. You know what I mean? I don't know if he had the fingernails, I can't remember. But he definitely came to the cookout.
Word.
Huh? Well, if his fingernails be long.
Yeah, he had long fingernails.
Yeah, but he definitely came to the
cookout. Because did he say he played an instrument? He played a guitar or something like that? That's why he had them joints. You know what I mean? It wasn't because he was snorting coke.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
I could read this in the John. So we talk about the word Salah. I mean, they didn't change the word for this reason. Read it.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus.
It's not.
Oh, it's not. Oh,
Salah.
Salakia.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's just an introduction to Ecclesiasticus. Read it.
For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them.
Have not the same what?
Force in them.
So when you hear the word Salah, we say it in English, because in English it's still Salah. But if you try to translate that word, it don't have the same force, the same power. You know what I mean? So when we say excuse me, it don't have the same force as when you say Salakia. It's not the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? So translations don't always work. And in the Bible, when they use the word Salah, it's Salakia, or excuse me. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go ahead and get into it.
I just had a question, sir. So translators wrote this, or what is that?
This is the introduction.
Okay.
The translators wrote this.
Okay, kind of.
All right. And they saying they can't. It's hard to translate.
Oh, sorry. All right. All right. So yeah, where we left off last week, of course, I didn't kick us off. But where we left off last week, basically, how, of course, we built up it was talking about the Sabbath and how we supposed to keep the Sabbaths, from generation to generation. And it was talking about how if you didn't keep the Sabbath, he was kicked out the congregation. Like, I mean, this is something that was important. So we had to make sure that we keep it. And, this was a sign. This is a covenant that the Most High made with the children of Israel. And this was a sign between the Most High and the children of Israel. For in 6 days, the Lord made heaven and earth. And on the seventh, of course, he rested. So this is the day of rest. You know what I'm saying?
I'll read the first 7. All right. Exodus chapter 32 and 1 in Hebrew. If y'all got y'all Hebrew Bibles, make sure you follow along. And even if you want, just follow along in your English Bible. All right. Exodus chapter 32, verse 1. Wayara'a, Ha'ain, Kaya, Bashash, Masha, Laradath, Mawa, Man, Hahar, Wayakwahal, Ha'ain, Al, Aharan, Waya Amarwa, Alayawa, Kwawam, Aisha, Lanawa, Alahayim, Ashar, Yalakawa, La'a, Yada Ainawa, Ma, Haya, Lawa, verse 2. Waya Amar, Alaham, Aharan, Parakowa, Nazamawa, it's like a Nazamaya, Hazahab, Ashar, Ba'azaniya, Nashiyakam, Banayakam, Wabanatha Yakam, Wahaba Ya'awa, Al-Yah, verse 3. Wayatha Ra Kuwa, Kal, Ha'ain, Ath, Nazamaya, Hazahab, Ashar, Ba'azah, Nayaham, Wayaba Ya'awa, Al, Aharan, verse 4. Wayakwan, it's like a Wayakwak, Mayadum, Wa'atazar, Athawa, Bakarat, Wayai, Shahawa, Igal, Masaka, Waya Amarwa, Alaha, Alahayak, Yasha Allah, Ashar, Ha'ai, Layak, Ma'aratazah. Right, Ma'aratazah. Matazarium. Ma'aratazah is land. Ma'aratazah is land. Matazarium is Egypt. Verse 5. Wayara'a, Aharan, Wayabun, Mazabak, Lapanyawa, Wayakwara, Akaran, it's like an Akarak, Wa'amar, Kaga, Layahawa, Makar, verse 6. Wayashika Yamwa, Mam Karath, Waya I Layawa, it's like a what? It's like a, this is at verse 6. Waya I Lawa. That's a tough one. Alaf, Wa I Gashawa, Shalamayam, Shalamayam, Waya Shab, Ha'aim, La'akal, Washathawa, Wayakwamwa, Latazakak. That's a rough one. Verse 7. Wahadabar, Yahweh, Al, Mashah, Lak, Rab, Kaya, Shakaf, Aimak, Aishar, Ha'aylayaf, Ma'arataza, Mazrayim. All right. Chubukoha, verse 32. One.
The book of Ex.
I was gonna say, ready.
The book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods.
Make us what?
Make us gods.
Make us what?
Make us gods, which shall go before us.
Sir, grab that microphone.
Right here.
Give it to Cam. Cam, what does that mean? Read it again from the top.
The book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 1. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount.
So I don't know if you're familiar. Hey, young brother Nate, you familiar when Moses went up into the mountain?
Mount Sinai.
What? Huh? Oh yeah, come on. Young brother Nate, you familiar with that story? No. When Moses went up into the mountain 40 days, 40 nights?
You sure? Right. Yeah, he was here.
Oh, so like I thought they were saying he wasn't there up in the mountain with him. I'm like, what?
No, he was in the mountain with him.
Yeah, no.
He said,
you don't remember he was there?
He was in the mountain with him. You don't remember, bro? The light. Remember the light? We saw the light.
Yeah, he saw the light.
All right, so I ain't gonna pick on nobody. So Moses was in the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. Let me ask you, why you think he was up in the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights? Just a guess.
Because someone told him to go there?
That's a pretty good guess.
That's a very good guess.
That's a solid answer, and I'm not mad at you for that one. Who told him to go there? Who you think told him to go there?
God?
That's a good answer. Give a brother a hand. That's a good answer. So the Most High told Moses to go into this mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. Well, not necessarily.
That's actually a very good answer.
Yeah, that's a very good answer. He got good answers. Yeah. So now, when he's up there for 40 days and 40 nights, he didn't just come down with 10 commandments.
Right.
He came down with
all the law.
All the laws. Right?
If I may. Because I never understood once I came into the truth. Like, we know, when you're in the world, you never think about it. You know what I mean? You just be like, yeah, 10 commandments. But why would he have to be there for 40 days, 40 nights for 10? You know what I'm saying?
How long is 40 days? Sorry, how long is 40 days? Exactly. About a month and a half. So
boy, genius.
Yeah. Boy, genius. That boy good.
He could have just said it's 40 days.
Yeah.
No, he's like, nah, it's about a month and a couple days.
Yeah. So he up there for like a month and some change.
Yeah.
He ain't come down with 10 commandments.
Nah, bro.
It's not possible. Nah. If you're up anywhere for a mountain, and you go up anywhere for 40 days, you better not come down with 10 anything.
Right. Good night.
It's a lot, yeah. Huh?
If I may, I think it's 636.
It's something like that.
It's over 600.
Yeah, it's something like that.
You know what I mean? We not like some groups be like they'll number it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like that's like doing the same thing and saying it's 10. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because to be totally honest, the dad.
I got you, sir. I got you 1 second.
The first thing, and we understand why they say 10 commandments because we was only able to hear 10, but the fact of the matter is it was actually more like 11. When you read those scriptures before we sent before we sent Moses to go and hear the rest, it was actually more like 11 that was heard before we sent Moses to hear the rest. The reason why the church says 10 commandments is literally Charleston Heston.
Yeah,
they numbered the daggone commandments that we heard. And when we get to that point and when we read the first commandments that we heard before we sent Moses to hear the rest, we'll count them out to prove that it was actually not even 10. It was actually more like 11.
So what was your question?
What are commandments?
What are commandments? Okay.
It sounds like a law, but like...
Okay, now you got laws, statutes, and commandments, right? Here's the difference between the three. All right. Who got the iPod or whatever the case may be? Who got a phone out? Young brother Nate, look up the word commandment on your phone.
I hate that.
Look up the word commandment on your phone.
Literally.
You got the definition. Tell me what you got. How you gonna have the word in the definition? See, this to tell you that Webster don't understand what they talk about.
Right.
All right, so a commandment, laws, statutes, and commandments. Now, a commandment is between you and the Most High. So, for instance, the Bible tells us not to smoke, right? Now, a lot of us in this room used to smoke cigarettes and things of that nature, right? Or whatever the case may be. But when we learn the truth about the Bible, one of the commandments is not smoking. Right? So now I got to keep that commandment with the Most High.
Right.
That's between me and the Lord.
Right.
A shape up is against the commandments. So when I go to the barbershop, I can't get a shape up. It don't got nothing to do with nobody but me and the Lord.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Why shape up so?
Why shape ups? Okay, let me ask you. Okay, now that's a very good question. These are good questions. Now, our custom is to be different, to be separate from everybody that had us in captivity. So when we was in slavery in Egypt, right? They would cut their hair to a certain point, right? They would have shape ups. Their hair would be shaped in a certain way, and the Lord told us we're not gonna be like them.
Right.
We're gonna be different.
Oh.
You know what I mean? We're gonna have our own culture. We're gonna have our own culture. When they see them, they're gonna say those are Israelites.
Right.
Because they have their own culture. Now I'm gonna tell you one thing. Everybody else gets shape ups. The only people that don't get shape ups is in here. That's why we different. They can see us and identify us.
That's right.
Right? So a commandment is between you and the Lord. A law is between you and anybody else in this room. So a law would be treat your brother as yourself. So when you got your brother sitting beside you, or your brother sitting behind you, or your brother sitting back there, or I'm your brother too, right? I would treat you just like I would treat myself, because the law is between me and you. Right? That's a law. It's between me and you.
Right.
A commandment is between you and the Lord. When can't nobody see you, you got commandments to keep. But when everybody's around, we got laws to keep. And the statute is between you and a government or a city. I mean, a group of people. It's how a government runs his city. All right. So did you get your answer?
Yes.
All right. Any other questions?
I got one question about that.
What's that?
So as far as statutes, commandments, and laws, where do the sacrifices, like what does that fit
It's
under?
under laws.
That's under the laws. Okay.
And statutes.
Also under both.
That's like the law of righteousness. You know what I mean? Like that's the first thing that people will say. Well, Christ came to fulfill the law, but Christ didn't fulfill the entire law. He fulfilled the law of righteousness, which is a sacrificial law. But a lot of people don't understand that. You know, that's something that's done away now, but doesn't mean that it's not going to be in place when Christ returns, when the kingdom comes. We're going to be going back to that.
Now, here's how it works. So let's say you broke a commandment. Let's say you go home and get a shape up. You broke a commandment, right? But the law is now between me and you, because now I know you broke a commandment.
Right.
Then it becomes a law.
Right.
Now you have to sacrifice. You feel what I'm saying? Because you broke a commandment, but now it's a law between me and you that says, if I know that you broke a commandment, you have to sacrifice something. You know what I'm saying? That's how it becomes a law.
Right.
Gotcha.
And that's the one thing that we couldn't get right. You know what I mean? As a children of Israel, because all we thought was, hey, I could break a law and then there was a commandment, or I could break a commandment and there's a law that allows me to fix it. You know what I mean? Or a statute that allows me to fix it. And then that's what we was doing. We was just breaking laws all willy-nilly and then sacrificing doves. Doves was getting killed, man.
Right.
Daggone turtles was getting killed like crazy.
Right.
They probably was a hot commodity, man.
Yeah.
Them Jones was probably expensive because, you know what I mean? We was just sinning just to be sinning.
All right.
You know what I mean?
You got another question, sir?
You could fix if you break a law.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, so before Christ, right? So you want to take this?
Go ahead. So before Christ, all right, if you broke a law, what you did was you atoned for that law. There was an atonement.
What does atonement mean?
Atonement.
Brother Nate, look up the word atonement. ATONEMENT.
I think I have heard the word.
Okay, what you think it is?
It sounds like atonement. It sounds like a statue though. Atonement.
Okay, let the brother get a definition. You got it.
Preparation.
So atonement, like we have a day of atonement, right? Yo, day.
Hey, Shalom Lord Christ, sir.
So we have a day of atonement, right? So now a day. Unless that's for the women, Dad. You can say whatever you want to.
You can see good right there.
Yeah, but if I could, so atonement is how you afflict yourself. So we have a day of atonement, and during the day of atonement, you don't eat or you don't drink water, right? Because you afflict yourself, your own body, for the Most High, right? So if you make an atonement, that's you trying to correct something. So let's say you got $50 in your pocket, right? And you punch somebody in their face, right?
Yes.
And now the only way to make it right is you have to make an atonement, which is give that $50 to that person. That's your sacrifice.
One Nate laughing.
Now I get it. But like, you can still fix it now.
You punch somebody in the face this week?
No, size.
Oh. You just punch somebody in the face this week? Go give him $50.
No,
Did you say Salakia?
He did? You said Salakia?
No, not.
Oh, I'm about to say, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
But you understand, right?
Yeah.
So you make an atonement. So Christ came. What was you saying?
Christ came. He was that atonement. He was that sacrifice.
So Christ now is the $50 for us.
God.
So now Christ, instead of you having to pay $50 every time you do it, now you change your life for Christ.
Mm-hmm.
You get that?
Yes.
So now you change your life to be like Christ, because Christ will never punch a nigga in his face.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You follow the man that did it right.
Right.
That's be like him.
That's heavy.
So you don't have to pay $50.
Exactly.
You keep your money in your pocket,
exactly.
and you learn how to behave.
So you're not under the law.
You're not under the law. You're not above the law, but you're not under the law. Meaning you're not always in trouble.
Right.
You understand my point?
Yes.
So you change your life to be like a greater man instead of being like a lesser man who has to pay $50 for all of his mistakes.
Always has to be punished. You know what I'm saying? That's because there are laws where there was a punishment that's associated with that breaking of the commandment. Some breaking of commandments you had to die.
Right.
You know
so like
mean?
if a woman was to commit adultery, which means if a woman had a man, right, and she decides that she don't want this man no more, and she goes and be with another man, right? There's a law against that. Now, if that woman was to break that law, somebody at the front door.
Kwayasha he just tells me.
Kwayasha at the front door. So if a woman was to be with a person, right, and she decides to be with somebody else, she broke the law of adultery. And the punishment is not $50.
Right.
The punishment is she has to die. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, like, let's say if it was a person that you harmed in a certain kind of way. Let's say you poke somebody in the eye, and the eye came out. The punishment against you would be your eye comes out. You understand what I'm saying? And now everybody walking around with no eye.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what Christ came for.
Oh, Slick Rick.
A bunch of Slick Ricks, right? Christ came for that.
Right.
So now you should change your life so you don't go poking people in the eye. You don't go sleeping around on men. You want to be like Christ because he sacrificed his life,
right?
Himself to make sure we know how to do it.
Right.
You understand?
Yes.
Just like us up here, and just like the men around you, they sacrifice their self. Like my father, he sacrificed his self so we can do it right. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what Christ came for. He sacrificed himself for all of us.
Right.
So that's his atonement. So you see anything else?
No, that's it, sir. That's it. You know what I mean?
You had a question, Tatiana?
Hit that.
Or a comment?
It's like that's no, that's
6.
why it says Shalom has come. Peaceable.
Right. Right.
You know, so he came to bring peace for us.
Right.
So we can come back to the Father.
Yeah.
It's like that's it.
All right. So you good, Sai? You good on that? All right. Any other? Was there anything else on that? You two out?
No, we two out, sir.
All right. Bet. So we was at Exodus chapter 32 and verse 1. Did you have a question too?
No, it was just like it's kind of like a silly question. So
Go ahead.
but not when you said Christ wouldn't just punch somebody in the face like unrighteously, but I think he would if he had to.
Yeah. remember he braided the
Christ
whip.
take a chance.
Remember he braided the whip and he beat him out the temple.
Right.
But it was a reason.
It was a righteous reason.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
remember Christ and the Most High, they teach us to be long suffering.
Right.
It teaches to have patience. You feel what I'm saying? So if a brother was to if a brother was to offend you, you have patience with that brother.
Right. You don't just,
because you treat him like you would treat yourself. Like if somebody talked to you a certain kind of way, you don't just go punch him in the face because you wouldn't punch yourself in the face for being that way.
Sluggy, if I may, what did you just say, sir? But what did he say before that? You know, that we should have patience.
Patience with the brother or sister.
Right.
We got patience with each other.
Right.
Yo, look up here. You don't gotta feel that way. You made your mistakes, right? And you own up to that, right?
Damn right you did.
That's it. You made a mistake. Now you learn from it, right?
Salagi.
I want to know the answer. Salagi, did you win?
The answer is yes.
Did you win?
Let's not hype him up. Let's not hype him up.
All right. Just don't do it again. But if you do it,
have mercy.
Make sure you have mercy on the brother. You feel what I'm saying? Because you want somebody to have mercy on you. That's the point. That's the answer to your question?
Kind of one answer.
All right. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to know.
Oh, no, you just want.
Yeah.
All right, Exodus chapter 32, verse 1.
Take it from the top.
Take it from the top. Exodus chapter 32, verse 1.
Book.
You got a Bible, Dad? Yeah. All right.
The book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods which shall go before us.
Make us what?
Make us gods which shall go before us. For as for this, Moses the man that brought us up.
Moses the what?
Moses the man.
A man
that brought us up out of the land of Egypt. We wot not what is become of him.
Now, Moses was going in this mountain for a month and a half. Right? And the people went to Aaron, which was Moses' spokesperson.
Right.
Because Moses had a speech impediment. Aaron was the man that spoke for Moses. So they went up to Aaron and said, we don't know what happened to Moses. Make us a God that we can follow.
That's
because Moses was a man and he died. So now we need a God to follow. A God is a what? What does God translate to in Hebrew? Yashama. God. What is God? What's the word God?
God is power.
God is power in Hebrew. God is Alahaya, which is power. So that it said, make us a power to follow. We need something to follow because Moses, the man, he might be dead in that mountain. That's Israel. Keep going.
Verse 2. And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me.
Wait, did y'all hear that?
He said sons.
It definitely says sons, didn't it? So wearing earrings is not what? Exactly. Wearing earrings is not feminine. You know what I mean? Because it was a time that, during my generation, we will only put it in one ear.
One, the left one. And if you had,
I still got the bubble on my jaw because I used to.
I took my joint out.
I took my joint out too. But I still got the scar in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, closed up.
Yeah, my jaw closed up. I used to have one earring. In the left ear. It couldn't even be in the right.
Yeah, it's a brother in the school here. He got both of them joints and they dangling. I was like, ooh. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, so it's like okay. We it's tradition.
Yeah. It definitely is. It definitely is. It's like it.
Got him at the same time.
Word.
He was fighting me on it.
Yeah. I know it was with me. No, I was in 5th grade. I remember that. We went to Franklin Mills Mall.
Oh snap! Damn.
Well, Philadelphia Mills
when
Mall.
when Franklin Mills was lit back in the day.
Yep, I remember that all the way to the day. Salakia, who was reading? Oh, you was reading.
Yeah, go.
And your daughters, and bring them unto me.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf.
God dang. Salakia, if I may. Now, we just read previously how the Most High had blessed these other brothers to do with the gold, you know what I mean, to do with the wood, to do these things. Now, they gave it to Aaron.
So, yeah.
Aaron wasn't
a goldsmith.
Right. And what did he do? He did what the Most High did not want us to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they didn't give the gold to the people that the Most High put in place to deal with the gold, because if he'd have gave it to them, maybe they would have did what the Most High required of them. But he gives it to somebody that's not. Salakia. He definitely dropped the sword.
Well, remember we just read about Moses when Moses was with his father-in-law. His father-in-law came to him. He was like, "Why you stressed out?
Right.
You need captains and officers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You need
time.
people that's going to help you.
Right.
Right. Now Aaron is feeling that same pressure. He's there by himself for a month and a half.
Not even.
But just imagine if somewhere you work, right? You work at your job.
Right.
Everybody leaves, and then everything is on you for a month and a half.
Right.
That's pressure.
Good night.
And what what Taziah was saying is true. Now he folded under pressure.
He definitely did.
Because they're like, yo, we need a guy. And he like, all right, bring me your earrings.
Jeez.
He's not a goldsmith. Remember the Lord said he gave every man a skill.
Right, exactly.
You mean? Like, so they didn't take it to the goldsmith, they took it to Aaron. And Aaron molded it down into a calf.
Daggone calf.
Aaron was there with all the
So you getting the microphone, Sarah? Getting the microphone?
It's like most brothers forget, man, when they read this, man, Aaron was there with Moses when the Lord performed all these miracles and things in Egypt. It's no way that brother should have dropped his sword, but he did. He folded under pressure.
Right.
You understand? So even though Aaron was there showing on the might of the Lord and the glory of the Lord at that time, you know, he still dropped his sword. So don't never say that you ain't gonna drop your sword. Okay, Aaron dropped his sword with this type of pressure. Pressure come in all forms in different ways.
You read about John the Baptist dropping his sword. That's Christ's cousin.
Yeah. Good night.
Let's
talk about it.
Now, Ken, why do you think they made it into what is a calf?
Isn't like a calf a baby cow? Or is it?
Yeah. So why do you think they made it into a calf?
That's a little difficult.
Reverend Nate? Just giving out, you got good guesses. You know what a calf is, right? A calf is what? A cow, right? Okay. Why do you think they made it into a calf? A cow.
I think they made it into a cow because
Well, he going to the scriptures.
Is it like
they probably did it because I actually don't know.
Yeah. All right, Yashima?
That's a good answer.
Represents purity.
Okay.
Was it a god that they used to worship in Egypt or something?
That'd be the one right there.
It's closest.
That's not it?
Yeah. It's closest.
Okay, good.
That's it. That's it. That was the sacrifice.
That's the one.
That's the sacrifice. They made it to a calf because it was a sacrifice. What they would do to God, what they would give to God.
Right.
So they made it into something that represented God, which were their sacrifices. So if you broke a law, you gave a calf.
Oh shoot! I ain't never think of that.
If you broke a law, you was to bring your cattle and sacrifice your cattle. So now they turned it into a cattle.
Dag on it.
They probably make small ones.
Oh my gosh, man!
No,
yeah, they probably wore little baby cattles on their neck.
Yeah, baby cattle earrings.
Made a rap song.
I got the golden calf. I'm about to cut his ass.
It's a lot. You know what I mean? But yeah, we reading about how Israel fell, not just Israel, Aaron fell under the pressure. Moses was gone for a month and a half. He went up to get the laws, the statutes and commandments. What we know today is the first 5 books of the Bible, the Torah. Moses went up there to get it written in God's finger, as we wrote in we read in the last chapter of the last verse. The last verse of the last chapter, right? So now Moses go up there to get the laws, statutes, and commandments. And while he's up there, the people of Israel just committing all kind of abominations.
Right.
They said we need somebody to follow, we need a guide, we need something. Because Moses is probably dead up there in that mountain, right? Read who got verse 4?
I got it.
All right, go ahead.
A molten calf. And they said, these be thy gods, O Israel.
These be thy gods, thy powers, right? That's what he's saying. These be thy powers. Go ahead.
Which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
This golden calf brought you out of Egypt. Go ahead.
And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it.
So now they went to worship this golden calf. Go ahead.
And Aaron made proclamation and said,
which means he told the people. Go ahead.
Tomorrow is a feast to Yahweh. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Go, get thee down, for thy people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves.
Jesus Christ.
Aaron just put that and said, this golden calf will brought you out of Egypt.
Yeah. And then they had a feast day to it.
Yeah. Knowing that the golden calf didn't perform no miracle.
Right.
Like Aaron knew these things.
Right.
He still built.
Right. Right.
He understand this golden calf didn't perform no type of power.
You got 7 more?
Come on, sir.
All right, we're gonna read the next seven verses in Hebrew.
Yeah, I want to get a couple more. It look like this story about to get.
This story about to get crazy,
yeah,
right?
I know, right? I want to keep it going. All right. So we Exodus 8, right?
Yo,
32 and 8.
Maybe that joint under the table.
What's that?
Yeah, under the table.
Come on, sir.
I just brought it right up there.
Like, what you mean, man? All right, let me Exodus chapter 32 and verse 8. Slovakia.
That's your mom.
Sarawah, Mahar, Man, Hadarak, Ashar, Tazawa, Thumb, Aishawa, Laham, Igala, Masaka, what? Waya Shathakawawa, 8. I'm at what I just said.
Is that an
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's it.
Lawa, Waya Zabakwa, Lawa, Waya Amar Rawa, Allah Yak, Yasha Allah, Ashar, Ha'ai Lawak, Ma'aratazah, Matazariyam, verse 9. Waya Amar, Yahweh, Al, Masha, Ra'a Ya Thaya, Ath, Ha'ain, Hazaha, Wahana, Aima, Kasha, Kwasha, Irap, Hawa, verse 10. Wa'ai, Tha, Hanayaka, Laya, Wayakar, Apaya, Baham, Wa'a Kalam, Aisha, Wathak, Lagawaya, Gadawal, verse 11. Wayakal, Masha, Ath, Panaya, Yahweh, Allahayawa, Waya Amar, Lama, Yahweh, Yakara. Is it Yakara? Yakara. Apak, Ba'ai, Mak, Ashar, Hawa Tazah, Ath, Ma'arat Tazah, Matazariyam, Bakak, Gadawal, Wabayad, Kazakwa, verse 12. Lama, Ya'amara, Matazariyam, La'amar, Bara'ai, Hawa Tazaya Laharag, Atham, Baharayam, Walakal Thum, Ma'ail, Panaya, Ha'adama, Shawab, Makarawan, Apak, Wahanakam, Al, Hara'ai, La'amak, verse 13. Zakar, La'abaraham, Laya Tazakam, Laya Tazakakwa, I'm at 13. Laya Tazakwa, Kakwa.
The first journal?
Nah.
Oh, La Yata's a Kakwa.
Yeah, Kakwa, right?
Kakwa, yeah.
Kakwa.
It's Kakwa.
Kakwa.
Yeah,
that's rough. Maybe we need to sound it all out. Kakwa. All right. Laya Taza Kakwa. Good night.
Just Kakwa.
Kakwa.
Yeah.
Kakwa. Wala Yasha Allah. Ibadayaka. Abadayak. Hold up. Abadayak. Yeah. Ashar. Nashabaith. Laham. Bak. Watha Dabara. Alaham. Araba. Ath. Zara I. Come. Kakwak Baya, Hashamayam, Wakal, Ha'arataza, Hazath, Ashar, Amara, Amarathaya, Athan, Lazara'ai, Come, Wana Kalwa, La'ilam. Verse 14. Waya Nakam, Yahweh, Il, Hara'ai, Ashar, Dabara, La'ai Shawath, La'ai Mawa. Good night. Oh my gosh. That's it, sir. Good night. That was I ain't gonna hold you. That was rough. He said, Lord be with you. I want that. I'm gonna start trying to do it from the Syrian.
What should I do?
What you say? What it feel like? Yeah. All right.
That's the ancient Bible. All right. Salakia. Sa. Or who want to read the next 7? What's on Chris? Give it to,
That's right, young man. I see y'all young boys. You know what I mean? That's my boys right there. They say, I want to do it. I want to do it.
All right, so so you got it. Exodus chapter 30.
What's this?
8.
32 verse 8.
I already got that.
They have turned aside quickly out of the way.
Before you read your scripture, always say what scripture you are, book chapter verse.
Exodus chapter 32 verse 8. They have turned aside quickly out of the way, which I commanded them. They have made a.
The Lord said, He told Moses, go down there because they corrected themselves. Then the next verse, He said, they turned away themselves quickly. Go ahead.
Right away.
Now you see how you say, which I commanded them, right? So the Lord said He commanded them to do something. That's a commandment.
Right.
Simple as that. All right. Just like when your guardians or elders tell you to do something, that's your commandment. You know what I'm saying? That's what you should follow. Huh?
Instruction.
That's your instructions. That's what you should do. If He tell you to do something, that's your commandment. You better do that. All right, go ahead.
They have made them a molded calf.
Molten means hot, or they molten. They shaped it into a calf. They took gold and they melted the gold into a calf. Go ahead.
And have worshipped it, and have scarified thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel,
God damn,
which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Salakia, if I may, this is wicked as hell. Now, they know that this thing that they just created, they're saying that this is what got them out of the land of Egypt. You know what I'm saying?
Remember they made a rap song about getting out of Egypt?
Did they not?
Yeah. Y'all remember the rap song that they made when they got out of Egypt?
Yeah, bars.
They had
bars.
Bars.
That's gospel music.
Yeah, they said Pharaoh over there drowning.
Right, drowning.
He over here clowning.
He said it said something like his horses and his riders have been thrown into the sea. Like
he said, "Yo, Israel, they know who we be."
Right, they know who we be. Like we know exactly who brought us out of the land of Egypt.
Exactly.
You went through this.
Right.
You was there. You see how we are as people, man. We are something else. We are something else.
Quickly we forget.
We forget so quickly, man. That's why Isaiah 1 and 3 is so heavy to me, because it's like, if I may, sir, real quick, it's Isaiah 1 and 3 is so heavy to me because it's like the ass knoweth his owner, the ox is master's crib, but my people don't know. They won't even consider.
Right.
We won't even consider. Nowadays, we won't even consider that. We are the children of Israel. Why? Because we forgot, just like they did. They did, right after Moses is only gone a month and a half, and already they like, yo, this calf bought us out. Our people are something else, man. We are a stubborn, stiff-necked bunch of individuals, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Let me take one of those too, sir. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. Like when I'm just reading this now, it's just like I've read this plenty of times before, but I don't know, man. It's like sometimes when you,
I'm good.
Sure.
If it's one in there, I'll take it. But if not,
yeah, I'll take that.
So,
the water.
Anybody else want the water?
Yeah, he get it. Get it out.
Yeah, I got one in my book bag anyway. I'll get it later. Yeah, so the brothers can get some.
If whoever, if it's not needed, anybody want water? So make sure you drink all of the water. Both of y'all.
He gonna spit it out.
You know, kids, man, they'll leave a half bottle of water anywhere.
Half, a whole bottle.
That's to take a sip and just like, whose water is this? It's not my water. But anyway, but yeah, like, like I was saying, like the Moses is only going a month and a half, man, and already the people is like, nah, this golden calf is what. And they put it in their brain. Why they put it in their brain? Because they want to tell it their children and generations. And eventually those children just want to believe it was the golden calf that got us out of Egypt. That's sickening, man.
And it's no different than today. You know what I'm saying? Most of our people,
a lot of them, yeah.
It's a cross.
Right.
Representative is a cross, or rosary beads, which is a cross, or a rock, which is a Mecca.
Right.
I mean, it's symbolic to
that
whatever
dumb stone.
You believe. Yeah. Instead of the Most High, the actual living power. Hey, leave that alone. Instead of the Most High, the actual living power. You know what I mean? You got it. Who's reading? Sai, you got it.
Tazia, Salakia, sir.
Oh, Tazia, Salakia.
No, man, I'm just saying, man. That's the reason. This shows you why.
Let me see that.
We need strong shepherds to watch over flock.
I think it's one.
See him again?
Oh, it's like a pinch right here.
No, I'm talking to you. See him again? You saying, Tazia?
What I'm saying is that this way it shows you that this is the reason why we need strong shepherds.
Right.
To watch the flock of Israel. Israel, because this right here. This shows you how the mindset of our people would be if we be left alone for a while.
Right. If we don't have a leader, we become weak. That's why the Bible said that my people need a shepherd.
Right.
I mean, we will flock that need a shepherd. We need somebody. Like without Commander Yohana, where will we all be?
Good night.
You know what I'm saying? Where will we all be? You know what I'm saying? There's no telling where all of us would be. You know what I'm saying? Somebody took their time to change all of our lives.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because with no shepherd, we had just died.
And if I may, that's because it's the shepherd that always brings us back in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you think about a lamb, if you think about, they'll go off, they'll stray, and they'll get attacked by a bear, lions, tigers, bears. Oh my. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
and the shepherd go fight the lion.
Exactly.
For one lamb.
Exactly. For one lamb. You know what I mean? He knows how many is in his flock. He knows who belongs and who don't belong. You know what I mean? Like
that's what David did, right?
Damn right.
He fought a bear for one lamb.
Matter of fact, didn't he use that as an excuse to go fight Goliath?
Yeah, he fought a bear for one lamb.
Exactly.
That's the Most High Christ.
Damn right.
That's Commander Yohana.
Damn right.
You know what I mean?
Damn right.
Who's reading?
Me.
Wait.
And have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto.
Where you at, sir?
Exodus chapter 32, verse 8.
All right, start from the top.
They have turned aside quickly out of the way, which I commanded them. They have made a molten calf, and they worshipped it.
No, don't add words. Read it exactly as it stands.
And have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto.
So when he said we're gonna have a feast day tomorrow, that's the sacrifice that they made to that land. Go ahead.
And said, These by thy gods.
What?
These by thy
These
gods.
what?
Be.
These
be. What's the next word?
Be.
Okay. You were saying by.
These be thy gods.
These be thy gods, O Israel.
God, remember, God is power, or people, somebody that we follow, right? He said, these be thy gods. Go ahead. O Israel. Go ahead.
Which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Go ahead.
9, verse 9. And the Lord said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked.
Stiff-necked, a what?
Stiff-necked.
What's that mean?
Stiff-necked.
We would say it different.
We was just talking about it. We was just talking about it. What does that mean?
Hey, Cat, it's right there.
If you punch them,
say what?
they don't want to be Punch back. Have patience.
Punch people.
Stiff neck today. The word we use today is hard headed. Stiff neck people means you can't like they can't turn your head. They can't get you straight, right? They can't get you on a straight path because you stiff necked.
Right.
You hard to control.
Right.
You hard headed.
It's like a horse. Like you, was you saying that, sir?
I don't know.
It's like it's like a horse. You know what I'm saying? A horse, we put the blinders on the horse so that they don't look left and right. You know what I'm saying? But if it's like you trying to turn that horse or you trying to turn it the next way, if that horse is stiff necked, it ain't gonna turn because you lead that horse by his head. You see what I'm saying? So you trying to turn him and say go this way, and he like no, no, I ain't going that way, and you gonna go in the wrong direction.
And that's what the Lord said. He said, "My people stiff necked, they hard headed. I can't control. You can't control them.
Non-believers."
Exodus chapter 32, verse 10. Now therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them.
So it's the Most High saying to Moses, like, yo, I'm about to go deal with them. I'm about to go deal with them. Go ahead.
And that I may consume them.
So now he said, all of them about to die. Every single one of them going to die. Go ahead.
And I will make of thee a great nation.
And to Moses, he said, all of them are going to die, right? And I'm going to make of you a great nation.
Good night.
Go ahead.
Now, if I may.
We're going to get into it.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I which is heavy about this, right? All right. The Most High is talking to Moses, and he's saying, look, I'm going to wipe them out, and I'm going to start the nation with you. Now, a plain man, a brother that just be, you know what I mean, wanting all the glory and stuff, he would take that offer. He would just be like, ooh, shoot, you mean it just be with me? But look what Moses does.
Well, what actually happened is all of them did die.
They definitely did.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, single last one.
Only 2 people made it out of this alive into what we would call the kingdom. Only 2 people made it alive into the kingdom.
From this, yeah.
Only 2. That's it. He's in the wilderness for 40 years, right?
But this is the first incident, though, right? Yeah.
So
we got to get to the part when they got to drink.
Yeah. Go ahead, son.
Exodus chapter 32, verse 11. And Moses besought the Lord his God, and said, Lord, why doest thy wrath wax hot against thy people?
Now, Moses, being a brother that has patience, being a brother that cares, he could have just said, yo, you about to just start with me and they about to die? Most High curse.
Like, I'm saying.
Look where I'm at.
Right?
But no, Moses was like, why you gonna do that to them?
Right.
He's standing in front of the bullet for his people. He's in front of the gun. The Lord, like, my wrath wax hot. That's like somebody that you close to, right? They about to get. So now somebody about to get in trouble around you. Somebody that you know about to get in trouble, and you like, no. Why are you mad at them? So now you're standing in front of the trouble. You're standing in front of the bullet for your people. That's why Moses is so great. Right. At least at this point in time.
Right.
Exodus chapter 32, verse 11. And Moses besought the Lord his God, and said, Lord, why doest thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand?
So now you guilt tripping the Most High, like, yo, you did all of that. You did all of that to bring them out of Egypt. You used all your might and not all of it, but you used a lot of might, a lot of power to bring them out of Egypt. Now, why would you kill them all? Go ahead.
Verse 12. Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out to slay them in the mountains and to consume them from the face of earth?
Isn't that what they was saying? Isn't that what all the leaders kept saying over and over again? Every single time. Did you bring us out of Egypt to have us starve?
Mm-hmm.
Did you bring us out of Egypt to kill us? Like now he's starting to sound like who? Them.
Right. Now let me ask you a question. Let's say tomorrow, right? A bomb drops in Washington D.C. Boom, and they like, all right, we all on the phone, like we leaving, we all going to Canada, or we all going to somewhere. We leave, and we're all in some woods somewhere, like in the Darien Gap. Anybody know where that is? Shout out to you. Right, we somewhere in Panama, right? And it's like just wilderness, and we all like, yo, we about to die out here. It's about to be real bad. Why don't you just let me go back to America where I can eat fried chicken? Like I miss hoagies. How come I want a slice of pizza? Yo, I need some protein in my drink. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish I had a bottle of water. And everybody's just thinking about what they had in the past, and they can't think about what they can gain in the future by being strong.
Right.
Right? So they're not locking in and being solid. They just think about what they lost. So now Moses is like, yo, you brought us all out of Egypt. Everybody out of Egypt, and now we're here in the wilderness, and everybody thinks we're going to die out here.
Right. And if I may, sir, and not only that, the people that you delivered us from, they're going to say, look.
They left America, and they died in the wilderness.
Right.
That's their fault.
So the Americans, that's exactly what the Americans would say. Look at these fools. They was better off with us.
Exactly.
Took them out of here, and look, he killed them.
And that's what Moses said. That's Moses entreating to the Most High. Like, yo, if we leave, if we die right now, if all of us die right here, then it was no point.
Right.
Like us leaving Egypt or leaving America was pointless. All right. Wait. Sorry.
Exodus chapter 32. Verse 12.
We're going down to 14.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief, did he bring them out to slay them in the mountains and consume them from the face on earth? Turn from my fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people.
You read them punctuations very well.
Go ahead.
Verse 13. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants to whom thou swearest that by thine own self, and saidst unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever.
And so, if I may, real quickly, understand that this is how we should be in dealing with the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? The Most High has not forgotten his promise. Like anytime these pastors in these churches and they dealing with the law and everything that's being said in the New Testament, we have to understand that the Most High has never forgotten his promise. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with a lot of these churches. They want to say that, you know, now it's for everybody. Now it's for the entire world. Now for God so loved the world, it's for everybody. But that's saying that the Most High forgot his promise. This is how Moses was right here. Is how we should be when we looking and reading the New Testament and reading Paul's letters. So
Is it like Spanish Bibles?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. The Reda. Yeah. All right, so the thing about this is one of many incidents. Esdras asked the same question to Uriel, right? Why we have poverty? Why do people die? Why is there so much death and destruction, right? Ezekiel asked the same question, right? So many times in the Bible we ask the Lord to remember Egypt, to remember Israel. I'm saying, and like, no, like we are the people. Like, read that verse again, so like if I could.
13.
Yeah, read that verse one more time. So like, can you read it?
Yeah, not at all concern. The book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 13. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, the servants to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and saidest unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven.
Right.
And all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed. and they shall inherit it forever.
So many times in the Bible, the prophets plead with the Most High to save us. Right? When you read the book of Judges, it'll say, and the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord again. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord again. And they went into slavery for 14 years. They went into slavery for 30 years. They went into slavery. We went into slavery like 15 times. Or 14 times.
I'm about to say, yeah,
we went into captivity 14 times because we are stiff-necked people.
Right.
Right? So we can't ever please the Most High.
No.
We didn't try every religion, everything in the earth. We didn't try to be Christians. We try to be Muslims, try to be Egyptologists, or whatever our heart desired. But we never tried to follow the Most High. And that's all he wanted us to do for so many times. So when you think about poverty and death and murder and destruction, all the death, all the hell that we live in, is because we never listen to the Lord.
Never.
And the Lord said, you know what? Lord be with you. You feel what I'm saying? And now we live in the hell because we created it for ourselves. Just like we made this golden calf. And the Most High said, you know what? I'm going to consume him. I'm going to deal with him. And the Lord dealing with us now. The only way to get not dealt with is to be on the Most High's right side, the good side of the Most High. We were never supposed to know the bad side of the Most High, which is what Adam said. Adam wasn't supposed to know the bad side of the Most High. But Adam sinned against the Most High, and he learned about the bad side of the Lord. He learned what sin was, and he learned what punishment was. So let's just not want to be on the side of sin and punishment. So when you ask about atonement, right? The better thing for you to do is to not be under the law. Don't ever find out what the punishment is.
Right.
You never want to know what the punishment is. Just be righteous. Live a good life. Because in that way, you'll prosper. But when you don't live a good life, you'll be one of them that the Lord want to consume in the wrath. You know what I'm saying? You'll feel the wrath of the Most High. A curse is a stumbling block. Let's say you went away to school and your shoe break. Boom. Your whole toe come out your shoe. You're like, dang.
The great toe.
Your great toe come out your shoe, right? The great toe come right out your shoe, right? And you're like, dang. And then you so once you get to school, right? You take a bus to school? You walk to school? You take a van to school or you take them to school? All right, so let's say you go to get on the van, you fall into the van, bust your nose. You're like, dang, then you the nose bleed, right? You get out the van and bust your nose again. You go to class and then your pants rip. And then you had money in your pocket, you lost your money. And then you left your book bag with your iPod in it. And you having the worst day ever. That's the Most High. And you say, oh my God. The Lord, he did that to you.
Yeah.
The Lord, when you say, oh my God, that's the Lord that did that. That's why you calling on him. You know what I'm saying? Like the worst day is the curses that the Lord put in front of you. A curse is a stumbling block. And you just like now you want to say, like Job. Job got mad curses. A bird dookie in his eye. Or something like that. It was crazy. It was crazy. He had boils, all kind of stuff. And his wife turned to him and was like, why don't you just curse the Lord and die? That's what his wife, the woman that you lay with every day, the woman that you expect to be in your corner, she told him, just curse the Lord and die. That was his girl, his right hand. He can't even trust the person he lay in bed with.
Dang.
Can't even trust the person he lay in bed with. Remember last night?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So there was like the curse that you live in is the life that we set up for ourselves. So let's just be on the Lord's good side.
Exactly.
Try to have patience with brothers and sisters around us. You know what I'm saying? Love your brother as yourself.
Right.
Try to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments the best of your ability.
So why? So that the Lord will be with you.
Right.
Because we put so much power and authority into, you know what I mean, the laws of this land and hoping that these laws of the land will protect you. You know what I mean? But nobody can protect you like the Most High can protect you.
Right.
And the best way to get that protection is just to do his will. Do what love is. Love is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, man. And by doing that, then the Most High will always defend you. He will always be for you. You see what I'm saying? He chose you out of amongst all this world. Like you should take pride in understanding that he chose you out of this whole entire world. But as that, we have a responsibility. We have accountability to keep what he wants and be obedient to our Father. You know what I mean?
Last verse.
Kind of what con, sir.
Take it, sir. The book of Exodus, chapter 32, verse 14. And Yahweh repented of the evil which he thought.
Repent means to stop. Go ahead.
Of the evil which he thought to do unto his people.
All right. So next week, we're gonna
next week. Yeah. Now it's getting back to we getting back into it now.
We got to do the muck.
Huh?
We got through the rough parts.
Yeah.
Where it was like put 2 red stars
Yeah.
on the side of the
Take the rings and fashion them into circles.
Cubits. Curtains maybe of fine linen.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was a rough time.
Yeah. Go ahead and sacrifice. We made a whole class off of I seen a wild boar the other day.
Yeah.
I was like,
we made a whole class.
We made a how? Oh, wild boar. So the wild boar. Let me tell you about the wild boar. Now we can actually get back into it.
We into the scriptures.
Yeah, we back into it.
Every Saturday service, we just read the scriptures.
Yeah, y'all kids, y'all need to pay attention because now it's getting back to
the Bible. It's
getting back.
Right.
Yeah.
You started Genesis 1:1.
No, good stories. Yeah, come on. What you say, sir?
So all right. So we want to send these prayers to the Most High. Salakia.
We start at 15.
Start at 15. Yeah, you stand up too. You get wine, don't you?
Kind of what kind?
Which cup was yours?
Get him heavy. Get him heavy.
Somebody give him that 7-Eleven, boy.
Get him that real joint. You know what I mean? Had that boy out there eating heavy today. Yes, sir.
This is still
Cam?
Ooh, wee.
Mad Dog 2020. Yeah. Come on now.
Cam slagging.
There we go.
It's the hair. So.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah.
So.
La Shala.
La Shala.
So.
All right, bless the Torah. Go ahead. Nice and loud. All right, so if any man want to come up and bless the Torah,
Meet the brother on this side.
First one to step down to this side.
well, first you gotta get the first priest.
That's to him.
Come on, one time.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Yah, which means Most High in the name of Christ bless me.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Yah. This Torah is freaking amazing.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah. Going down that side.
Shouts out. I'm about to what's Sadat, right?
Huh?
Yeah, shouts out to Sadat, man. I'm about to buy another one of his tours, man. Them Jones is amazing.
In the camera phone?
Come.
All right, so if you want to bless the Torah,
I had to take it down because it wasn't
so it's like this. Look, watch me. This. Like that. Like this. Like this. And the scriptures. Yahweh. Bahashem. Yahweh Shah. Barak. Yah. Which means Most High and the name of Christ bless me. And there's actual scriptures in here. We made it. That's that. Scriptures actually. Yeah. Christ. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Barak, Yah.
That's right. Just trying to now.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrak Yah.
Ooh, that boy crispy.
He crispy creams right there, boy. I swear, man.
On the moves. And that was the opposite.
Yo, why did your name move? Hold up.
All right, you come in.
Where the John at? Shit, Salakia. What the hell?
It's up here.
This John acting stupid, but it's not letting me get over there. Salakia.
All right, so don't worry about it. Just spin the camera back, spin it back and center.
It's not letting me.
Can't go center. Exit
Get
out.
off of that.
Exit out.
No, it's just
lift the weights this weekend.
You said lift the weights.
Now open it back up.
Because it's like,
What is that?
here we go.
Yes. Spin it back to us. Bring it up. All right, so we're gonna send the praise to the Most High. Upon Salakia Amajim, which means to stand, everybody standing. Upon Yahakwadam, which means turn and face the east, which is that way. We're gonna send up the Lord's Prayer first.
All right, so Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa.
So, like, if I could, the Lord said, when you pray, you lift up your holy hands and you pray, reach it to the stars. All right,
go
ahead.
Abanawa. Subashamayim. Kodash. Hayah. Simka. Yahweh. Malakwa. Taba'ah. Ratazayah. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'aratazah. Kawal. Hayah. Bashamayim. Thunanaw. Lakam. Cow. Yawam. Wasalaknaw. Kabawafnaw. Kasalachnaw. Kabawafyanaw. Wala'ah. Tabaya'ayanaw. Manasaya 1. Abal, Hawashayanaw, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wa'athapara, Awalumyam,
Aman. In English, the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
All right, this is the prayer for the power. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Baba Kashah. Thunanaw. Hakak. Larapa'ah. Kal Makala. Wakal Madawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazariah. Hakak. Lahakwi. Hamathia. Hakak. Arakawa. Hatama Allah. Lagarashan. Ba'ashem Yahushua. The water Aman.
In English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
It's the prayer to bless Israel. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Barakaw. Wahabaya. Sapari. Ba'ashem Yahushua. The water Aman.
In English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Bless us. And Israel. In the school. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
It's Psalms 121. Asha'ah, Ayyan, Ahahari, Ma'ayyan, Yaba'ah, Aizari, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'aratazah, Ayathan, Lamawat, Regal, Al-Yanawam, Shamar, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayasan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamar, Yahweh, Tazal, Al-Yad, Yem-Yunkin, Yawamum, Hashamash, La'ayakak, Wayarach, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamar, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Aknapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Wabawa'aka, Ma'aita, Wa'ait, I'm alum.
In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From which cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee. Will not slumber. Behold. He that keepeth Israel. Shall neither slumber. Nor sleep.
The
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
From all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore. All right, Psalms 83. Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Aldama Yalaka.
Aldama Yalaka.
Altaka-rush.
Altaka-rush.
Wa Alta-shakwat.
Alta-shakwat.
Al. Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awayabya.
Awayabya.
Yahama Yawan.
Yahama Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka.
Al-Aimaka.
Ya'arayamu.
Ya'arayamu.
Sabada.
Sabada.
Wayata.
Wayata.
Aitazawa.
Aitazawa.
Altazapawanya.
Altazapawanya.
Amara.
Amara.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakaki.
Wanakaki.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala Aya Sakar.
Wala Aya Sakar.
Sam Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Iwada.
Iwada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa Aitazawa.
Nawa Aitazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Ayaka.
Ayaka.
Bayaf.
Bayaf.
Yakawafu.
Yakarafu.
Ahoya.
Ahoya.
Idawam.
Idawam.
Waishimi Aya.
Waishimi Aya.
Mawa Abba.
Mawa Abba.
Wahagari.
Wahagari.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa Amawan.
Wa Aimawan.
Wa Amalak.
Wa Aimalak.
Palashat.
Palashat.
I'm Yashabi.
I'm Yeshabi.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gamashawar.
Gamashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Sarawai.
Sarawai.
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aishalaham.
Aishalaham.
Kamadyan.
Kamadyan.
Kasiyah Sara'ah.
Kasiyah Sara'ah.
Kayabya.
Kayabya.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Kayashwa.
Kayashwa.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Ba'ayanda Arab.
Ba'ayanda Arab.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
The man.
The man.
La Adma.
La Adma.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Nadayamawa.
Nadayamawa.
Ka'arab.
Ka'arab.
Wakazabak.
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 Wakatazamanai.
Wakatazamanai.
Kal Nasiyakamwa.
Kal Nasiyakamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Marwa.
Naya Rashad.
Naya Rashad.
Nanawa.
Nanawa.
Af.
Af.
Na'awa.
Na'awa.
Alahayam.
Alahayam.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayatam.
Shayatam.
Kagagala.
Kagagala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya Raka.
Lapanya Raka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Saba Ira ya Ira.
Saba Ira ya Ira.
Wakalaba.
Wakalaba.
Dalahat.
Dalahat.
Harayam.
Harayam.
Khan.
Khan.
Tharadama.
Tharadama.
Basa Ira.
Basa Ira.
Wabasawa Path.
Wabasawa Path.
Thabahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyatham.
Panyatham.
Kuala One. Waya Bakwashwa.
Waya Bakwashwa.
Simka.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Panyahan.
Wayahan.
Waya Bahawa.
Waya Bahawa.
Aya Ai.
Aya Ai.
Waya Kapara.
Waya Kapara.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Da'aiwa.
Waya Da'aiwa.
Kaya Atha.
Kaya Atha.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labaka.
Labaka.
Alayawan.
Alayawan.
Al. Kal. Haratazah.
Haratazah. All right, this is Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo. Thine enemies.
Thine enemies.
Make a tumult.
Make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
Have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel.
Against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
They have said.
Come. And let us cut them off.
And let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
From being a nation.
At the name of Israel.
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 May be no more remembrance.
May be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together.
With one consent.
With one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The Ishmaelites.
The Ishmaelites.
Moab. Hagarenes.
Gabal.
Amalek.
Amalek.
Philistines.
Philistines.
The inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also was joined with them.
Assur also was joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah. Do unto them.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of Kishon.
At the brook of Kishon.
As perished at Endor.
At the perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
As became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red.
And like Zahad.
And like Zahad.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes.
All their princes.
As Zabah.
As Zabah.
And as Zalmunna.
And as Zalmunna.
Who said.
Let
us take to ourselves.
Let us take to ourselves.
The houses of Yahweh.
The house of Yahweh.
In possession.
In possession.
Oh my power.
Oh my power.
Make them like a will.
Make them like a will.
As a stubble before the wind.
As a stubble before the wind.
As a fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
And as the flame sets the mountains on fire.
So persecute them.
So persecute them.
With thy tempest.
With thy tempest.
And make them afraid.
And make them afraid.
With thy storm.
With thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
Oh Yahweh.
Oh Yahweh.
Let them be confounded.
Let them be confounded.
And troubled.
And troubled.
Forever.
Forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
Let them be put to shame.
And perish.
And perish.
That men may know.
That men may know.
That thou.
Whose
name alone.
Is
Yahweh.
Is Yahweh.
Art the most high.
Art the most high.
Over all the earth.
Over all the earth.
Sorry, which means the turn. All right. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I'm about Amad Shabbat, Amajim, Barak,
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakadam,
which means Most High in the name of Christ bless you, which is an actual prayer. Yajamatah, Sar, which means to turn. Men of Israel, we're going to get a sister's one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amad Shabbat, Amajim, Barak,
Yahweh Shamar Alatham Ba'Shem Yahushua,
which means Most High watch over you in the name of Christ, which is an actual prayer. Yajamatah, that concludes the Sabbath service.
All right, if any brother want to get anointed, you know what I mean, y'all can come right on up.